The other side with Bobby Ryan of the Ottawa Senators, who come in having won 3 in a row and very much back in the thick of the playoff race. 6 points out. Bobby, is this kind of a game in, game out scenario where every time you come to the rink, you know your season is at stake?
Pretty much. I think we set a goal last week to get 6 points at home, and we took care of that. Now the focus shifts to the road, and we haven't been very good there. So right now, we take it one day at a time, and you try to replicate the feeling that we had last year of winning down the stretch. It's the fact of the matter is the season's on the line every night.
You and I talked a little bit last couple weeks about that very fact of having come through and pulled down the stretch. Does having that experience once do any help for you this year?
Yeah, I think you lean on it. We try within the room not to talk about it as much, but the experience was there, and most of the core is intact. The same group of guys that did it last year are here again this year, and we realized how much fun coming to the rink was every day when you're doing that, whether you're scoring goals or you're contributing in other ways. We want to make that feeling last.
3 weeks ago was also kind of the nadir of your season. I mean, that loss to Edmonton, I don't think there's been a lower point for Ottawa this year. How have you dug yourself out from that point and gotten yourself back into the mix?
I think we simplified. Generally throughout that little bit of a stretch, the blue line was a real obstacle for us. We were slowing down before we got to it, and we weren't able to make plays through there because the league tightens up this time of year. We focused much and shifted our focus to getting pucks deep and scoring the old-fashioned way. And we've got 2 goaltenders that are allowing us to score 2 goals a game and finding a way to win.
What about you personally? This has been a bit of a bounce-back year for you in terms of goal scoring, and now you have a chance to kind of get your team over the hump while at the same time reestablishing yourself as that consistent 30-goal guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bounce-back in regard. Really, outside of 20 games last year, I thought it was pretty good. 20 games down the stretch hurt, and that's what people remember. So right now, the focus for me was to come in and have a consistent season, not get to that point where you're going 9-10 games without a point or a goal, but at the same time, to be able to get out of it in this situation and really replicate last year, but this time be able to contribute means a lot more to me.
And finally, we talked about that Edmonton game. That was the low point of your year. Edmonton's certainly going to expect Ottawa to come in and play a much better game tonight. When you look at the Oilers, what do you have to do better to limit their chances and not let this game get away from you?
I think last time we were really guilty of, again, making plays at the blue line, which feeds a fast transition skilled team, and they had 2-on-1s and 3 or 4 power play goals. So we got to stay out of the box, limit time and space on the top end guys, like McDavid and Eberle Hall, those guys that are creating a lot for them right now. And at the same time, if they do have a weak point, they're playing pretty well, but if they have a weak point, it's their defensive. We got to make sure we get in there and make them run around in their zone a little bit.
That's Bobby Ryan, 20 goals this year for Ottawa. Senators, Oilers rematch tonight at 7.